She may not stay here. She could go counties or states away, you know, who knows. But we're gonna send her up. There's a little bit of a breeze, it's sunny, so we'll take bets and see if she takes a soar or not. She likes to soar, but she may just go into a tree or she might go up into a soar, we'll see. But yeah, let's let her go. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. If you're like me and you love the outdoors, you may want to subscribe. In this channel, I don't hunt with a gun and I don't hunt with a bow, I hunt with a hawk. And as the seasons change, I fish from a kayak. This channel is about falconry, a sport that dates back thousands of years. This channel is about kayak fishing, a sport that dates back thousands of years. This is fins and talons. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to release Xena back to the wild. I've had her for about a season and a half. I trapped her December of the previous season, so she's been a good bird, and you know, like I said in several of my videos, I like to squirrel hunt, so you're gonna have to excuse the rooster. He's all fired up this morning, but I like to squirrel hunt. It's one of the things I like to do, and not that I don't like to rabbit hunt, but you know, that's a deal breaker for me. Been a great bird, follows great. Obviously she's a terror on rabbits, hunts with people, you know. She's never bit my hand or footed me or anything like that during the manning process. You know, rooster, she's gotten a little nasty on the kills, but nothing I can't deal with. But anyway, we'll get more into that later in the video. You know, I'll try to think ahead of what questions people might have and just try to answer them in the video. But if you guys have any further questions, you can hit me in the comments too. But we're going to go over the Mews setup. I've had several people ask about my Mews, and I'll try to also throw in the Merlin Mews I made for the Merlin. So let's go over the red-tail Mews first. All right guys, here's my Mews for the red-tail or any other bigger bird that I've got. I had the Amish make this, just like the frame, metal siding, the roof, all that, the door, and then I did the rest of it that I need for the bird. But it's 10 feet by 16 feet, and I believe it's 9 feet-ish around to the peak, the center of the peak up top. So that gives you an idea on the dimensions. I had him put this door in here. When I go to clean it out, I use pine bark on the floor, and I'll clean it out once or twice a year, depending on how rough it is. But I can bring my tractor bucket right up here to this door, and I can just push all the dirty pine bark into the bucket and then put fresh pine bark in, so it makes that pretty easy. Going over here is a food chute. All I did was just cut a hole in the siding and the hardboard inside, and just put a PVC through the wall here. So what this is 4-inch. Seems to be a good fit, and with this slick metal siding, I don't need to worry about raccoons or anything climbing up. They can't climb up this metal. Even if they do, it's not going to be a very big raccoon that would fit into this pipe here. So I've always had good luck with this for years. It's just, I think this is a 45-degree angle maybe I put on here. So it just kind of angles down a little bit, so it's not you know, just open straight up at this angle here, you know, getting rainwater in it and everything. But I'll just, you know, toss my food in there, and that makes it nice because you know, my birds are usually never vocal. I think when the bird sees you appear every time to feed it, kind of associates you as a parent feeding it, kind of thing. And I think that's where you get the vocalization, is they're constantly associating you with feeding it. You know, the food's not, you know, always coming from the glove or the lure or kills, you know, prey. You know, you appear and then you toss it the food, and I think that's where you kind of get that from. So also when I walk in here and the bird knows it's not going to get a big amount of food from me, so I don't have to worry about her trying to, you know, look to me for food when I walk in. She knows I'm just going to get her and weigh her, and then we're going to go out and look for food. So this is hardboard right here. I get it at Menards. You probably find it at like Lowe's or Home Depot, but it's cheap for a 4x8 sheet. It's 13 or 14 bucks. So I'll just staple, or I'm sorry, nail or screw this to the wall. This panel right here was in pretty bad shape from Xena. Just, they like to perch in the same spot over and over. So I just, like a week ago, I just replaced that panel, 14 bucks there. And then that corner over there was in bad shape too. You can kind of see that panel has some on it, but I replaced that one. So pretty cheap to replace these panels on the wall. And this is the inside of that door. I put this little piece of like rubber mat over it just to keep the handle clean there for the door. So that's worked out pretty well. This is the inside of the food chute. So all I did was just get a log, and this is daisy mat from Walmart. I like to use that on all my perches. It seems to do real well. I've never had any issue with bumblefoot or any kind of problems with her feet with that daisy mat from Walmart. So I'll throw the food through the chute here. It'll hit the perch, and then she'll land here. And sometimes she'll eat her food right here. Sometimes she'll take it up to her perch. I think it depends on how big the chunk of food is. If it's bigger, she'll stay on here and eat it. But if it's just a chick or two or something, she'll just carry it up to her perch. Her perch is up here, just 2x4. Kind of cut a little bit of an angle here and screw that in there. That's all daisy mat all the way across. She doesn't use the whole thing. She mostly just perches right here in the corner. They always want to try to get as high up as possible to roost at night. And then I've got the same kind of perch, longer perch over here. So she can fly back and forth, and that's what I really like about free lofting the birds is, when it's hunting season and you feed them up on a kill, and as long as it's semi-cold out, they're flying back and forth in combination with a lower temperature. I can fly the birds quite often. I would say more often than if you're if you've got the bird on a zip line or tied to a perch. They definitely lose more weight, getting more exercise. I also think that keeps their muscle also throughout the season, kind of keeps them in shape because they get to fly back and forth. And then I just put this little perch here. This is just a little bracket. Let me get out of the sun here. This is just like a little 45-degree bracket I got from Menards, and just put that daisy mat on this piece of wood. I'll just try to give them different perching options so that it's not just two perches, So there's that. This is a taller log. I think this is about, 3.5 feet tall. Put the daisy mat on top of that. So that's right here by the food chute. She can fly over, land on that. I've seen her feed on that before too. So she's got different options. Now we'll go to the windows. So what I did was, the Amish just had, the main studs in here, and then I just filled in these windows, and like this is one here, that's one there, and I just kind of plugged them in, screwed them in. But all it is 2x4. Just measured the size I need and just cut the 2x4s out, and then I took I think these are 1 inch, 1 1/4. I should have known this before I made this video. That's 1 inch. Okay, so these are 1 inch. I used a wood bit. This is schedule 40, 1 inch. I just get from Lowe's or Menards. So I'll cut the 2x4s, and before I screw them all together, I'll measure exactly how long of a piece I need. I'll drill probably half or 3/4 of the way through the 2x4 with that bit, and then I'll put each one in here. I start off 1.5 inches from the edge, so I'll mark 1.5 inches, and then I'll go every 3 inches on center. So from here, 3, 6, 9, 12, and that's kind of how my spacing is, and it seems to work real well. So I'll start at that distance and then go 3 inches, and then once I put everything together, and the 2x4s aren't screwed together yet, I'll put it all together, and then I'll put 2 screws in each corner, and it locks everything together. It locks these pipes in there, and these aren't going anywhere. and the spacing's good. You know, my birds do not hit the windows. As you can see, I've got what I use is a window screen on the other side of the window once I got the window in. And that is just to keep the mosquitoes out, so you know she doesn't contract West Nile or anything while she's sitting in here. We are a little bit lower. I've got water nearby, I got a river, so I definitely wanted that up to keep the mosquitoes out. But yeah, it also would show me too if she's hitting the windows and trying to get her feet through here. It's kind of nice to have that. It's a cheap little thing to let you know if the bird's hitting the windows, so you know you don't find out later that she is and she's got dull talons or broken feathers or whatever. But one of the main things with free lofting the red tail, and I learned this from Gary Brewer, is these are wild birds. These aren't captive bred, you know, Harris hawks, goshawks, whatever. You know, these birds were not born in a chamber. They were born out in the wild. So one of the biggest things is, I'm going to raise my camera up a little bit. You see where the perch is, and you see this piece of wood I put across the top here. When the red tail's sitting on the perch, you want them to be looking down slightly at an angle when they're looking out of the windows. So you can kind of see that. If I didn't have that piece of wood up there, and if they're kind of looking up and they see these tree limbs, they're going to want to hit the windows. And that's where you're going to get dull talons, you're going to get broken tail feathers, wing feathers, all that. So however you set your muse up, think about this before you even start building it. You want to have the perches up so the bird's just, and it can just be slightly looking down. So you can kind of see this is where the bird would be perched, and she's looking down at a slight angle. That makes her feel like she is as high as she can be in her building. And that gives, you know, makes her feel safe, and she doesn't need to go any higher. And then obviously that perch, you know, just put it up as high as you can without the bird hitting her head off the ceiling. And you can also reach her when you go in to pick her up. But the perches at the windows are much more important. And I set that one up too, so she's looking down at an angle. So I think that is the main points. This is the windier side over here, so I kind of blocked some of that out just so she's not getting bombed with wind. And that door I kind of made solid too. It was open at one point, so just kind of give her some relief from the wind. And then yeah, food pan or a water pan there. And I'm gonna pop outside here. This is not totally necessary, but I do it because, like I said, I'm near a river, and we have a lot of raccoons, different predators. We got mink. I saw a monster mink here last year near my hawk house. But this is just 2 strands of electric, and I've got a wire run underground over to a solar panel and a energizer. So that keeps two strands of electric all the way around the Mews, except for the metal side. I don't have to worry about that. But that just will keep it hot here. And the raccoons do not like electric. I know that for a fact. I've got it on trail cam video of them. I also have it on my chicken coop too, to keep them off. And you can kind of see, long before I ever put this electric up, the coons were checking every night, trying to figure out how they could get in the windows. You can see the mud below the window there. But yeah, that does a good job. So I think that covers it. If you guys have any other questions about the Mews, maybe that I'm not thinking of, just ask me. It's on runners. That's another point I wanted to make. This was delivered on a flatbed tow truck. Like I said, it's 10 by 16, and it looked like the truck was about maxed out for size, but it's 10 by 16. And if I ever want to move this, you know, I can have a tow truck come in and pick it up again and move it for me. I learned the hard way that because I've moved a couple times, and you know, I've been in falconry for like around 20 years, and there's been a couple years where I didn't have a bird because I was moving, building a house, you know, a new house, and maybe I was in a rental house or whatever. So, you know, I just couldn't have a bird at that time. But, you know, if I could have it where I could move it, you know, I had a great bird. My first bird I had for 3 seasons, and I would have loved to keep her. But, you know, when I moved, I didn't have a building for a while. So, you know, this would have solved that problem. I could have had a tow truck move my building. I could have kept that bird for a little longer. She was a stud. But just something to keep in mind, you know, that may help you out too, is make it where you can move it kind of easily, or just pay a tow truck driver to hook onto it and move it for you. And you can also put those screw in, I don't even know what they're called, those little loops where they can hook onto it and drag it up onto the tow truck. But all right, we are going to go up to the Merlin Mews. I'll show you a quick little view of the Merlin Mews, and then we'll release Xena. All right, guys, here is the Merlin Mews. This is a little bit bigger than 8 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet tall. So I just kind of, like, I'm not super handy. That's why I had the Amish build my Mews that I just went over with you. But I put this together. It's not pretty, but it works. Just bought this door on Facebook Marketplace, slapped in. I think I got it for 30 bucks. It's the whole frame and door and everything, and then a $10 doorknob I put in there. Have my buddy wire this for me for dimmable lights. So we'll go in here. I just got done working with Ida, and she's been doing real well. I've got her coming to a dead sparrow on the lure pole. So it's like a 10-foot lure pole, and then, I don't know, like a 10 or 12-foot line. But let me show you this. So this was, I think it's called a starling lure. I got it online, one of the websites. But it had the wings on it. She didn't like it for a while, so I cut the wings off. She took to it a little bit better with the wings off, but it's not very big. But she just was not having it. And by the time I realized, well, I talked to another Merlin falconer out west, he said ditch the lure and just go to a dead starling or sparrow on the lure line. So I did that, and she's been on it. So kind of wish I started that way from the beginning. I probably would have been hunting with her a long time ago, but she's eating a mouse. I try to feed her as many sparrows and starlings as I can, but I have to supplement her with mice. I just can't catch enough to give her an all bird diet. You know, I'll throw a little bit of day-old chicken there sometimes, but it's mostly been mice. I would say adult mice are pretty nutritious compared to other frozen foods I can buy for her. But anyway, this is all insulated in here. As you can see, I got the wiring up there for the lighting. There's 2 lights up here. Like I said, they're on dimmers. I do free loft her in here. So this perch here, it's a 4-inch top. I'd like to do a 3-inch if I can find one. It's kind of a battle. Her mutes kind of run down the back of the 4-inch perch. So it's almost like it's a little too big for her. So anyway, kind of just learning. Everything's, you know, learning curve. First Merlin I've ever had. Her water pan here, she loves water. I think it's a Merlin thing. Literally almost every day after she's done eating, she jumps in there, gets a drink, gets a bath. You know, I'm refreshing her water constantly, so she loves the fresh water. And then down here, I just have a little, it's a Auric infrared heater, and I can set the temperature, which is real nice. It'll hold it at, I usually run anywhere between 50, 55 degrees. I've been keeping it in here. And then I've got a little, it's a mini fridge freezer, which is real nice. As I take the frozen food out, I can put it in the fridge. It's ready for the next day. Got her scale here, and then I made this little wall perch for her. And all I'm doing is, I think this is like a tray for a planter I got, and I just fill it with cat litter. And you know, all of her mutes just drop, with the falcons, they just drop straight down. So that's nice. So she's got a few perching options in here. Yeah, I got an outlet there, and then there's an outlet behind the fridge freezer. So it's kind of nice. I did have a TV in here, but she decided to use it as a perch, and it was getting kind of nasty, so I moved it out for now. But maybe when football season rolls around, I'll bring it back in here. But yeah, it's a nice little setup for her. I'm gonna add another wall perch here like I have on the other corner, just to give her a perching option over here, especially since I took her TV away. But yeah, there's plenty of space in here. If I shut the lights off, it's like having a hood on. She doesn't move at all. She stays right where she is. So if she's up on the wall perch, she'll stay there for the night. If she's there, she'll stay there for the night. So it's kind of nice. You know, I can just flip the light on. She does whatever. I'm usually with her when I shut the light off. She's done for the night. So nice little setup. All right, guys, before we release Xena, I'm just going to do a quick little recap from when we got Xena a year and a half ago when Jeb was trapping with me up until now. All right, guys, looks like a juvenile right along the road here and some trees. It's got like 7 crows right above it, pestering it. So we're going to have Jeb toss the trap here as we drive by. Nice door control, Jeb.
Thank you.
Nice door control.
Proud of that.
Yeah, you've been working on that. Oh, he's going for a ride here. Jeez. Yeah. I gotta get this loose foot right here. Oh, he's squeezing me. Okay. Oh, it's squeezing me.
Oh no.
It's got me handcuffed right now. I can't even get my hand out of the glove. There we go. All right. That the camera got smashed. Hopefully that's okay. Alright. Let go of the glove, dude. Let go of the glove.
Some hooks on her, huh?
Oh, you got the hood. We'll just put the hood on now. Nice nugget on it too. Alright, so we're gonna put this bird in the scale. It's definitely plump. We'll see. I didn't feel the keel yet. Let's feel the keel. Can barely even find the keel. I've got the ABBA on. It's fat. It's been eaten real well, and it's got a little bit in the crop. But the feet look nice. Real thick legs too. The bird's more of like a thick legs, yeah, linebacker, and it's got a little bit in the crop there, and a big head on it. So let's see what it weighs here. What? Oh, hold on. Oh my God. What? If that's right, that's the biggest bird I've ever trapped by far. I'm keeping it. I mean, this is the first bird that we've even seen. I trapped by myself yesterday. Saw 11 kestrels, 2 coopers, like 7 adult red tails, 1 juvenile is too far away. Jeb and I came out. We've been driving for what, 2-3 hours?
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours. We haven't seen one bird. This is the first bird we saw, and 59 ounces. So, all right, we're gonna take it home. All right, guys, we're back in the barn with the bird. I cannot believe the size of this bird. Just the weight of her is crazy. I've not taken her hood off yet. It's gonna be a rodeo, but the biggest bird I've ever trapped in 19 years was 43 ounces, and that's nothing crazy. But I've just never come across big birds. This bird is 59 ounces. A mouse was in her crop, and her chest was fat. All right, guys. First rabbit I jumped for this bird. She smoked it. As long as I can see her, I'm good. That's like 2 or 3 rabbits in this whole spot. Ho, ho, ho! Wide open. Come on, Xena, get there. Got it. There we go.
That's an experienced bird right there, man.
You know, she's just been an incredible bird for rabbit hunting. Once I left the squirrels alone and just went for rabbits, she started following really well. She's still not super pleasant on the kill, but all right, guys, she's gonna finish this chick and that'll end the season. But like I said, it's been a great season and a half with her, and I've had some good times. All right, guys, we got Xena out here. I got all of her. All right, guys, all right, we're gonna let her go. She's been dewormed, fed up. She's cropped up. I'm gonna give her one more chick before we send her out. But yeah, rural area out here. I don't see many red tails right in this area, or eagles, so this would be a good place for her to go. And she may not stay here. She could go counties or states away. Who knows? But we're gonna send her up. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's sunny, so we'll take bets and see if she takes a soar or not. She likes to soar, but she may just go into a tree, or she might go up into a soar. We'll see. But yeah, let's let her go. All right, step up. She just wants to eat while she's got one foot up, I guess. There we go. Get her in the sunlight there. Looks weird not having any equipment on. Yeah, she is a big bird though. Whew. Yeah, I imagine she's gonna find a mate here pretty quick, because the last several times we've been hunting, she's been trying to pair up with some of the adults. Not fighting with them, just landing next to them. So it's on you, girl, whenever you're ready. There she goes. Oh, no soaring yet. It's weird seeing her fly up there without the bells, hearing the bells. All right, guys, that's a wrap on this video. She's back to the wild. I'm sure she's gonna go have some little ones now. She's been hanging out with the adult males while we've been hunting, so it's definitely on her mind right now. And it's I'd say late winter, early spring. So, and her weight's up. She's good to go. She's dewormed. She's a trained killer. She was doing pretty well even before I got her. And now, if she hits a rough winter, she has the confidence and the experience to take down bigger game if she needs to. But this will be the last video of her playlist for Xena, and I'll have a new playlist for any other bird that I hunt. Will have their own playlist. So if you just want to watch that bird, that's an option for you. So if you have any questions about releasing her or about the Mews or anything, hit me in the comments. But I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next one.